Welcome everyone. We are back live on a Saturday, and I've got a bit of a cheeky kit review that I'm going to be running through. As usual, I want to start off by just saying that I am not a Schumacher team driver. I am not a team driver for anyone. This is just an impartial review of a car that I've really quite captured my interest. It's the Schumacher Icon Formula 1 car. It's been out not that long, and seeing as we're an on-road channel, I thought, what the hell? I'm going to grab one and see where it takes me. I think the important thing to learn is that I know nothing about F1 cars when it comes to model car racing. Hi James, nice to have you on. And so this is an absolute first for me. I am going to build the car live, and hopefully you can join along and maybe learn a thing or two about what is a growing class. I first came into contact with Formula 1 when I started with GT12. They used to have it on a Saturday along with WG10 or GT10 or something like that on a Saturday, and then the Sunday would be GT12. I used to just do the GT12. A good friend of mine, Andy Thompson, used to do the Saturday. Neil Cochrane and a few others all used to do the Saturday with the F1, and then we used to catch up and race on the Sunday. So that was my first introduction to F1. Then it got taken away from GT12 and it got thrusted into its own class, I believe, or paired up with potentially TC, and off it went outdoors. And really, I then saw it again when I was out in New York when I was racing at the NYGP, and I saw a lot of the guys running it there, and I'll be brutally honest, they don't look very good while they're on track. I mean, the traction is pretty low, I think. Not much steering, and it certainly didn't inspire me. Then I ran an E3, pretty good car, very fast car, won the world champs at the Milton Keynes event, and then I got myself an E3. That went very well. Then I saw this car come out, and it looked along the same lines as the E3, and so I thought, what the hell, why not grab one and see what it's like. So hopefully I'm going to run it when we come out of lockdown, which will be next week, and I believe there's a national series that's going to kick off next year as well, as it does every year. And I'll try it out and hopefully bring you some reviews trackside and see what the car is like to race. So today is just about, or this video is just about opening up the box, seeing what's inside, see how it's kitted out, what it offers. It's a bigger box than the 12th scale by quite some way. It's obviously a 10th scale size car, so you'd expect that in many ways. Nicely boxed, along the same lines as the E3. Let's get the box open and let's have a little look inside. Again, it's very similar to the E3 in terms of the Schumacher Eclipse 3, in terms of how it's delivered. You've got all of these packets. They're all got a barcode on. They're all independently numbered by the looks of it. So T6 1251, so they're all independently numbered, coded, should I say. And as per usual, obviously, you've got step 8 written on the bag, so that will link up with step 8 in the manual, I would assume. So there is a vastly more amount of bags compared to the E3. and I can recognise many different components. We've got the rear pivot for the pod. There's a plastic one there, I believe. I think one of the upgrades that I've got for it is an aluminium pivot, which I believe lowers the roll centre as well. So you can see there's a significant amount of bags that come with the kit, which is always exciting because that means that it's going to be a slightly longer than usual kit build. So there we can see there's a lot that comes in the box. We get some oils here. We've got silicone oil here, 40k. We've got silicone oil here of 12k. I assume this is going to be going down the centre, and the 40k and the sides will be the 12k. You've got a nice Allen keys and spanner set that comes with it. I think that's always a nice touch when you get some tools. Obviously, for the racer that is new to the hobby, they're essential things. Got some silicone grease there as well. That'll be for the diff, I'm assuming. And then we've got the chassis. And I think from my research, Formula One has previously been like 12 scale in that it's been a two-part chassis. So you so the chassis would come up to here, then you'd have your rear pod, and then you'd have your centre shock that makes the rear pod pivot to the chassis, and that would be your pivot point there. Like the E3, Schumacher have made this as one solid chassis, and then you've got a rear pod assembly in the same way the E3 is. Obviously works very well with the E3, and I think that was one of the inspirations for me to get one of these cars, because what I like about the E3 is that you can throw it together, you can chuck it in the corner, put it back out, dust it down, throw some oils at it, and it's good to go. And I think the part of the reason for that is because of this solid chassis, that it makes it very robust and user-friendly, which is great when you're new to the class and you're wanting a bit of consistency as a full-time racer or a seasoned racer, should I say. So I think this really gives you a bit of a head start when it comes to racing these cars. I had an interesting conversation with someone, and we sort of agreed that the E3 might not be the fastest car on the block, but it's definitely a car that offers the most consistency at this time. That's before trying the X-Ray X1221 car. Having said that, you can't argue with the fact that it won the World Champs. It's done very well at regional and national level, the car. So the E3 is a seasoned performer, as well as something that is potentially not the quickest car on the block. But again, that's kind of a contradiction in terms, really. But hopefully you understand that I think with a traditional 12 scale car, I think it maybe doesn't have the adjustability of that, which can therefore not make it quite as quick. But that's 12 scale. This is an F1 kit review, and so let's not digress down that path. So the chassis, as I say, all in one piece. All the carbon looks really nice quality. I'm not going to open the boxes up, the packs up, because when you start doing that, things start getting lost, and before you know it, you've got an instruction manual and no parts in the box. Just going to take a little sip of the coffee, so excuse me one moment. Any questions you have, feel free to fire them over as we go along. Now, as ever, you have a lovely sticker sheet, which I always love a sticker. I mean, who doesn't love a sticker? I'm 44 years old, and I'm confessing online that I like stickers. Better not let the wife hear. So there we go. Here's the manual. Again, exactly the same as the E3. Paper manual, not glossy like the X-Ray, but who knows what might come if they upgrade. Exactly the same. got your first page of the bits you need, different various manufacturers that obviously Schumacher distribute, important safety notes, and the additional items that you will need down the left hand side, which was obviously your controller, your receiver, your servo. Servo has to be low profile. I've got a wet buggy that I'm going to be ripping the electrics out of, so I'm going to be putting in an XR10 Pro Hobby Wing. I've got myself a Sanwa XXR SSL low profile servo that's going in there. I've got myself a Hobby Wing motor that's going in, and I'm using some shorty packs. I can't remember the name, but I will obviously talk about that as and when we get to it. The usual step-by-step build. So step 3, step 5, obviously. Step 5 will relate to step 5 on the bag. There we go. There's a step 4 bag, which will relate to step 4 in the manual. If you've never experienced a Schumacher manual before, then as you work through, this is obviously running a diff compared to everything on road at the moment. So, well, certainly 12 scale anyway is running spool. So that's obviously a bit different. So I'm going to have to get back involved with building diffs and all that nastiness. But I like building diffs actually. It's quite good fun. As we work through, then as usual, you've got the centre part of the manual, which is really nicely laid out. I think this is a really nice thing to have on your phone. You can download the manual from the Racing Cars website, and you can also get this up on your phone, where if you're looking for a part that you need to reorder, you've obviously got all of the part numbers on here, and it also gives you some kit and upgrade option parts, which again is something that has really moved forward, I think, with these kits. So yeah, you've got U7689, you've got the kit one, and then it's got a U8065 alloy hop up, I assume that's what that means. So there are some kit and titanium kit and alloy. What else is optional? So you've got the kit one, which is white with the rear wing. Kit one's white, and if you want the black one, that gives you the code for that, and again for the front wing as well. Andrew Thompson, it absolutely does look amazing. It looks a great. I'm really excited by this. I can't believe that I've got myself an F1 car. It's ridiculous. I've got into F1 anyway, motorsport over lockdown and this year, having watched obviously one of the first motorsports to get back up and running, and I think that probably is one of the reasons for the carryover to buying this car. Wheels doesn't come with wheels, so I've got myself some. These are the BRCA national wheels and tyres. These are freaking cool, man. Oh my god, really cool. They've got the BRCA Schumacher BRCA logo on them. This is the code for is XG575C for the rear tyre soft. They look and feel really soft. really cool. And then you've got the front ones as well. Let's open that up just to show you. Obviously these don't come in the kit, and the code for the fronts are XG571C for the BRCA legal ones. Again, if I'm being brutally honest, the gluing isn't fantastic. Being a bit critical there, but there's a bit of a lump on the rim there. But like all these things, as long as it's not on the tyre itself or on the surface, I'm sure that won't make too much of a difference. That's that. Then we work through the manual. got spares list, and then obviously the electrical install here as well. Going a bit further through, these are option parts, and then you get into the setup, which is great. I mean, I'm a complete newbie to this whole F1 scene, and I think again this is absolutely paramount to get this in these manuals, because if you've not got a clue of how to run one of these cars, you need this stuff, because it's, whilst you've done RC, you kind of understand what's going on, but like this front damping here, front damping can be used to tune the car depending on the traction levels. Thicker oil on the kingpin generally always gives a less responsive, easier to drive car. Too thick oil on the kingpin may lead to a lazy feeling car which lacks corner speed. We suggest a wide range of possibilities here, starting from 12,000 to 50,000. You know, that there is a nugget of information giving you insight into what you're looking for to change and do on the front of the car, just in a damping sense. And then if you want to look super cool, kid, get yourself some team merchandise. Even got the safety masks in there now. Got yourself a little Schumacher gilet, frost grey, very nice, very nice. And then you've got a test setup here. So these cars run a 21.5 motor. So they've got themselves a hobby wing, one that I'm going to be using. They've got a DLP servo in there, Samuel receiver. They've got a 4100 milliamp LRP LiPo. Carpet was smooth, and it was medium grip level. Gives you some timing guidance, what pinion and roll out, and then it talks you through all the various setups on the car. So you give yourself a base point to get the car set. Again, a very functional manual. You wouldn't want anything more if I was being picky. I want a bit more sex, make it be a bit more shiny. I like shiny. Who doesn't like shiny? Got a question in from James Eves. I haven't ordered an Icon yet, but really considering one thing. I prefer to use foam tyres though on carpet. If you can run rubber, James, and you can get away with not having to true tyres, I'd go with rubber personally. I've not run one of these cars before. I don't know what else is out there, but from what I'm looking at so far, I think it's a really exciting prospect of something a bit different from an on-road class. So I would get yourself a kit and get involved, my friend. So there was a list of optional parts that I got advised to purchase from young Mr. Mo. And these are they. And also there was a list of optional parts that were advised to get for speed secrets, as they call it in the Schumacher term, and nice bits to have. I invested in the speed secrets rather than the nice bits to have as well. I might want to add, I did get this kit at a reduced rate, so that I part of doing this video. So much appreciate the guys at Schumacher giving me that opportunity to have a slightly reduced rate of the kit. Still paid a decent amount of money for it though, so this is off my own back, and trying to make the hobby bigger and grow, and give you guys some insight into what you might go on to purchase. So these are the six upgrades: U8137, U7919. The U8137 is a mass damper set. Now this has been talked about, and I'm really excited to see what this is all about. I have no idea what it is, but someone told me, I was speaking to them, this is going to be the next thing you're going to see on your 12 scale cars. It was Darren Newton that told me that he believed that that was going to come out on the 12 scale cars. We'll see if that is the case or not. Alloy pivot block, as I just mentioned, that is actually the Atom 2 pivot block. So if you've got an Atom at home and you're going to buy this car and you've got a pivot block that you're not using at the moment because you're not running your Atom and you're not going to run your Atom, you're going to run your Icon, you don't need to buy another one. Some ball bearings, the Pro ball bearings that they do. Got some wheel spacers. These are washers, U3002, and then you've got the alloy pivot mount, which goes with the pivot block. It's U7918, and then I've got the Aerox alloy servo arm for the Sanwa servo. Those are the pop-ups that I purchased, and I think, again, in days gone by, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bags. I think that's pretty good when you come to talking about cars and what you need. The other optional extra was the rear wing, TRG 5027, a rear wing. It comes in white and black. I believe that the rear wing that it comes with, the Montec one, got some adjustable side plates, really nice wing. Very, very inexpensive, that wing. And I think that's about it. Got the wheels and tyres, as I said, and I'm going to run the 21.5 hobby wing in the car because I just like all black, getting it all nicely matched up. And there you have it. That is your Schumacher Icon car. All the bits that I have purchased to get myself up and running in the Formula 1 class. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build this car live online, and hopefully you can join me. It'll be fun to build it. I'm going to break it down into sections so it won't be one long build. Maybe I'll do 25, 45 minutes at a time, and we can all build along together, and hopefully you can pick up a few tidbits of how I build a car and maybe advise me where I might be going wrong. Hopefully you've enjoyed that and you are all having a great Saturday, and I look forward to seeing you all next time. Like and subscribe, share with your friends, and you have a great weekend.